Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Run It Back podcast. We're up to episode number 8. Listen before these mini episodes that we dropped just before a pay-per-view, mainly to the UFC, but not exclusive to them. So we've got myself and my co-host Daniel on today, especially 2 special guests. We'll welcome them in a little bit, but we're going to run through our picks and our reasons why. As per usual, the main and will require a finish for them, and if you do get them, you get a bonus point. Run through today's card, which is UFC 244 from New York. BMF belt on the line, my boys. So a quick welcome to the BMF co-host of Podcast World, DL. Daniel, how are we?
I'm good, mate. Yourself?
Mate, I'm excellent after that intro I just gave you. That was wonderful.
I know, it was huge. It was huge. It's a bit weird. We're me and one of the special guests are actually in the podcast studio in Victoria. Other special guests have dialed in at some random. I think our other special guests actually on a street corner under a dim light. So a little bit dodgy, but we love that he's made the effort. But
That's how the Run It Back really rolls.
Mate, we just piece things together and we get it done. So that's why I love it. Mate, first thing I want to start off with is a big shout out to us. 110 listens we're up to. So,
look out.
Yeah, podcast number 8. We're running into number 10 very shortly, that's special number. So we've hit 110 listens on 7 episodes. So pretty excited about that, which is good. What do you reckon?
I'm highly aroused.
Mate, I wouldn't expect anything else from you.
Thank you.
And
should we introduce our special guest?
I think we should. Let's start with who you've got under the dim light.
Look, under the dim light is the stat man. You guys would remember him from last episode, just bringing out stats like no tomorrow. Call him Bill Gates. Call him whatever you like. We call him the stat man. Craig Spear, how are we?
I'm doing well. I am a little bit dodgy under this streetlight, but I'm catching a few looks from the people in the houses across the road, but that's okay. And I'm a fucking bird just flexing right next to me. That's good shit. That's good quality. Well, I'm doing well.
Is that good luck? It's supposed to be good luck.
It's like a kookaburra. It's like literally like half a foot from me, and it's just staring me down. I might walk away from the light a little bit, but that's okay.
I'm a bit concerned that you said that you're staring into other people's houses.
If I want to catch the light, I've kind of got to stare directly for old couple's house across the road.
Let's not get arrested on the podcast.
No, right. It's so hard with the BMF belt on the line to not get hard, but I'll try my best.
Mate, if we get an arrest on the BMF podcast, like it's probably gonna help us out ratings wise. So, Craig, do your best, do your creeping best, son. So we've got a guest in the podcast studio as well. You will also remember him from episode 243 from Melbourne. The man is back. Stoney, how are you?
Boys, good to be here. Still licking my wounds on that Rob Whittaker prediction from 243, but looking to bounce back in a big way this weekend.
Should be a good card. There's rumours about that there's going to be a special guest putting the belt around one winner at the end of the night.
No rumours, confirmed.
It's confirmed.
Yeah, it was on Instagram today with Dana White and him doing a video call.
Yeah, nice. Excellent. And who was it?
My boy Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, as you guys know him.
No one has ever called him Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. That's the wrong way.
I'm pretty sure that's what he calls himself, mate.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, please. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock.
No, we're going, mate, sit dimly lit corner, look into some houses, and keep your opinion to yourself, because I'm off.
All right.
Oh, that's great, boys. Look, first of all, I just want to clear the air. There was a bit of an incident earlier today and lead up to this podcast. Someone may have photoshopped a group chat message to try and set up one of our guests today. Got any bad feelings to Stoney there, Shaun?
Oh, mate, no bad feelings from me. So I'm a bit disappointed in Stoney and his actions towards trades in fantasy leagues, but... You know, each their own. There's some dodgy stuff going on, and I don't really tolerate it, to be honest. So I'll have none of it.
Stoney, rebuttal?
No rebuttal. I tried my best to help Shaun improve his winless team. He didn't want a bar of it, and I guess he's eyeing the number 1 pick next year, and it is what it is. But We'll push on. I'm not one to judge. Everyone's got their own coaching style. Shaun's racking up the losses, and it is what it is.
Someone should tell Shaun there's no draft picks. He's playing. He's playing for draft picks.
Snags is always about the rebuilding phase, mate.
Can't Snags. You would remember Shaun was quite highly talking about his Madden skills. So Madden skills don't really cross over to NFL fantasy. So
they really don't. And I just want to clarify, we're all a little bit hazy because we had a good day in the lead up to the podcast for 243. I'm actually doubting you're any good at Madden. Now, rumour has it you beat somebody on that day, Shaun.
I'm pretty sure I towed him on, and I'm pretty sure he rage quitted before the end of the game. But anyway, no biggie.
Anyway, it's good to clear the air. Should we get into this card?
Let's do it.
So we're going to go to the stats expert to run us through the first three fights. Cragos, can you kick us off with the first one, mate?
Absolutely, guys. We've got a banger of a lightweight fight. First up, Kevin Lee versus Gregor. I'm pretty excited for this one. It should be a pretty solid fight.
Yeah, look, I might kick us off, Shaun, if you don't mind. I'm pretty solid on this one. My boy's got to come back. I know I call everyone my boy, but Kevin Lee, I've been on him for quite a while, even though he's taken a couple of losses where he should have taken wins. So I'm taking my boy Kevin Lee going up against Gregor 13-zip. Their stare-off was quite intense the other day, so I'm looking forward to that one. So Kevin Lee for me, boys. Shawnee?
Mate, so Mr. Gillespie himself, only because his first name is almost my last. But I think, to be honest, I think he's about $1.65 favourite, 17 wins. I think he's going to Kevin Lee pretty easily in this one, to be honest, boys. And it'll be old SG going up 1-zip on DL as per usual.
Yeah, it's fine, mate. I'll just refresh quickly before anyone else picks that the last UFC card, I actually beat you 3-2. So move
right,
on.
mate. I'm about long-term game over here. If we look at the run it backs, I'm well ahead. So I'll stay on that prediction. Thank you very much.
Thanks, mate. Stoney? What do we got?
What have we got? I've got a fence that you're calling Kevin Lee your boy. Yeah. I think Kevin Lee's been my boy for a long, long time.
He has.
You're right. He has had a few losses. He's up against a phenomenal opponent in Gillespie. I think he still gets it done. Gillespie, a great wrestler. Kevin Lee, a great wrestler. I think that cancels each other out in the takedown department, and I think Kevin Lee's got more in the stand-up. So I'm predicting Kevin Lee in a nice win for the boys.
Cool. Cragos, what do you got, mate?
I think Kevin Lee can't get it done when he needs to get it done. I think. How's this for a stat for you guys to kick off the stats? 17-0, six straight UFC wins, 5 straight finishes, 6 TKOs. That's not hot pick.
Kevin Lee's in trouble on those stats. So that's good. We've got a bit of a mixture going on there. So, mate, this heavyweight fight, Craig, you want to just hit us with this heavyweight?
Oh, yeah. Whose balls are hot? Mine are, definitely. Outside of this old person. Blago Ivanov is fighting Jared Multiple's hot Lewis. It should be a nice little slugfest.
So I'll kick us off. I'm going Ivov. Is that what his name? Ivov?
Ivanov.
I'm going to take Ivanov because Derek Lewis has ruined me on a couple of multis. So I can't trust him. So I'm going to go straight. There's no real story behind it. That's my pick. Shaun.
Look out, mate. My balls are ringing hot on this one. And I'm going my boy Derek Lewis. I don't think we can't. I'm going to see it's a KO either way for me in this fight. I think my boy Derek is going to get it done. And then I'm looking forward to the post-fight interview more than I am the fighter. But, boys, DL, not Daniel Logan, Derek Lewis, going to get it done.
Derek Lewis. Good work. Stoney, what do you
got? Straight to it, Derek Lewis. No special comments. I'll reserve that for the fights that I'm genuinely interested in. I think this one is just a bit of a filler of an absolute banger of a main card.
Who you got, Cragos?
I'm going to have to take Blagoy. He beat Fedor Emelianenko in a Sambo match when Fedor Emelianenko was undefeated. He also got shanked in a bar in Russia. He was in a coma for 6 months. came back. He lost 100 pounds, put it all back on, kept knocking punches out. So I think Blago Ivanov, I think the fight's probably going to be a bit of a disappointing one. I think that anytime that Derek Lewis gets pressured or grappled by a Sambo champion, it's going to be a bit of more of a... so I see Blago taking this by decision.
Do you know what's not disappointing?
What's that?
Your comments around that fight and your detailed analysis of that. The bloke got... Is he your cousin or something?
Is Blago?
What's his birth date, mate?
Blago Ivanov.
Boys, this is probably rarely done on this podcast, but based on Craig's little intro there, I want to switch tips. He sold me on that, and I think Derek's in a world of trouble.
Oh, we're going to change up. I like it. That's awesome.
Well done, Craig.
I can't wait for my the only person's balls that are going to be hot on Sunday is mine, guys. I can't wait for that.
Well, Shaun, if ever someone was due for a win, it is you. So I hope this one comes through, buddy.
The trolling continues. I love it.
Appreciate it.
We'll move into the welterweight.
Oh, Stephen Thompson, Wonder Boy, against Vicente Luque. This one's going to be a fun one, I reckon. If Stephen Thompson can, I reckon it's going to be.
Yeah, I reckon, mate. I'm just going straight out with Wonder Boy. I a lot of the times I do back Wonder Boy. He got flattened against Pettis last time, so I'm a bit.
Can't believe it,
mate. He was stiff as a board. But Pettis can do that to a fighter. So Stephen Thompson, we love him. Wonder Boy, he's great. So I'm getting behind Wonder Boy, and hopefully he can take out this win. Shawnee.
Mate, unfortunately for myself, I'm going to side with you on this one, which absolutely disgusts me.
Get it,
but I'll be going for Wonder Boy as well, $1.90, and I just don't see him not getting it done. With a nickname like Wonder Boy, sounds a bit like myself with tips, so I'll be backing him firmly in.
I'm starting to keep count how many times you refer to yourself during this podcast. That's 2.
27 times most likely by the end of the pod.
We've got a run and tally happening here in the pod room.
You know, put a tip on myself about 27 times. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Shaun. Stoney, what do you got, mate?
Well, if Kevin Lee's my boy, then if I was ever going to be unfaithful, it would be with Wonder Boy. I think I've been a big fan. I saw Wonder Boy for the first time live in Vegas when he spinning wheel kicked Jake Allenberger into oblivion. So I've been on him ever since, and I see no reason why he can't get back in the win column this weekend.
Craig, what do you got, mate?
I'm going to be a bit of a spoiler, guys. I'm sorry. My heart, it wants Stephen Thompson to get back because I love him as a fighter. I still remember his first UFC fight against Dan Sidgen. That over-the-shoulder head kick knockout was beautiful. I don't think he has it in it. I don't think he has the age or the time enough to evolve to be able to keep up with the young guns in the sport. I think Vicente beats him. I hope I'm wrong. I might have money on Vicente Luque. So if Wonder Boy wins, I win. And if Vicente Luque wins, I win money. So it's kind of like a way to ease my heart a little bit. I think Vicente takes it.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, mate. It's fine. Now we've got...
Just on that, sorry to cut you off. DL, have we ever rolled with that logic where we've bet against our heart? Because I know that there's been many a Sunday afternoon where we followed that heart into almost bankruptcy. So hats off to you, Craig. I can't do it. If my heart's on somebody, then the wallet's got to follow. So credit to you, mate. That's an honourable trait.
Thank you. I hope I'm wrong.
We move into the big boys, the main and the co-main. I am so excited. Actually, looking at this whole card, I was actually thinking about it today. I'm like, nearly all these fights could headline a fight night. Like, easy headline a fight night. And we've got these 2 juicy little numbers right at the end. Boys, we're going to, in the pod studio here, Stoney's brought along a beautiful bottle of Wild Turkey American Honey, Sting, and he's poured us a couple of shots here. So if you don't mind... Yeah. We're going to indulge just before we jump into this one. We're also running a couple of beers here. I had a big trip home from work today and I dropped into a little brewery called Cold Stream Brewery on the way home. So I grabbed a couple of their XBAs. So back in the pod studio here on the XBAs. You boys having a drink tonight?
Yeah, mate. I'm on the Hope Estate Super Juicy New England IPA. Currently at 7.2%.
Is that your first or your fourth?
No comment.
Craig, I know you're playing charades tonight, but any beverages?
I'm into the Tui's new. So.
The Tui's new? Did he say Tui's new?
I'm normally into the American honey. That's normally my go-to.
No, hang on.
So.
Did you say Tui's new?
He did. I'm off him.
Tui's new. Do they still make that?
Yeah. It's new.
Nah, my dad used to drink that when I was growing up. That can't be new, Craig.
It's on the label. I don't know what to tell you.
Fucking hell.
Craig, I don't know what's going on there, but you sound like you're standing on a beach, mate.
That's what happens when you're on the Tui's new. It takes you to places that you never knew.
The wind coming through these headphones is almost unbearable.
I'm going to make my way back to a shelter.
Yeah.
There's a little shelter here.
He's just having a peer in those next door neighbours' windows.
Sounds like that bird might be flying past his phone, mate.
Take his back, Craig. Take his back. All right, we're going to move into the. That sounds better, mate. We'll move into the co-main and the main event. Our co-main.
I think. Have we done the intro?
Actually, you can do the intro. Sorry, we're doing our shot first. So me and Stoney are just going to knock this shot back
To the boys.
Oh damn, that's good.
That's smooth.
That's really good. Boys, we enjoyed that. Thank you very much. Good night. So we got a middleweight. Our co-main event is Kelvin Gastelum versus Darren Till. Craigos, can you kick us off with the bets? Me and Shawnee might go last on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think of all the fighters in a losing effort, I think Kelvin Gastelum definitely put in the best showing of 2019. And I always kind of considered him as like a kind of a swollen welterweight, which I now consider Darren Till to be. So let's see how we go with that. I think Kelvin Gastelum should be able to piece this one up. I'm taking him with the 8th first round TKO.
Wow.
Oh, dang, boy.
Yeah, first round.
This is Darren Till going up a weight, yeah?
Yeah, and I think that there's a chance that he might miss weight. He did not make it into New York until quite late due to visa issues.
Yeah.
I imagine he was probably in a sweatsuit on the fucking plane while he was waiting to get his visa approved so he could get into New York City. I think he's going to be arriving in late. He's got like a 4-hour disparity in time zones. He's going to be battling against the jet lag. I think he might struggle to make weight, and I think he's going to come in looking drained, even though he has moved up a weight class.
Just remind me, what's the punishment these days for a missed weight on a non-belt fight?
20%.
So it's 20%. Co-main event.
20% of your purse.
Co-main event. I think he's still doing all right.
Yeah.
I don't think those boys are going to be too stressed about.
I wouldn't want to give up 20% of my pay though. That would be pretty brutal.
It's a reasonable point, but 20% of your pay versus compromising a potential chance to win this fight. I think when push comes to shove, if he's really struggling for those last few, I think he just cops that 20%. But I must say, this is a very professional industry. I find it highly doubtful that he didn't factor in the time zone differences and the jet lag as part of it. But it'll be interesting. Am I allowed to give my tip now?
I was just going to quickly say, missing weight has never stopped anyone's career progression in the UFC.
It sounds very similar to when Stoney tried to offer me a trade with beer involved as well. Very political.
And you've got the screenshot to verify it, I hear, as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Stoney, what have you got for this fight?
Look, I've got Darren Till. I hear everything that Craigos raises in relation to Gastelum. This is a great fight. It really could go either way, so I'm not going to pretend I've got anything that anyone else doesn't on why Darren Till will win. But look, he's just a phenomenal fighter, and I think people have jumped off him prematurely just based on a couple of losses. And these things go in swings and roundabouts, and it wouldn't surprise me if Darren Till absolutely catapults his career with a big win over Kelvin Gastelum. So I'm predicting a second round TKO, Darren Till.
Damn. Sean.
You know what? For once in my life, I agree with Stoney. Only on the second round TKO because he is absolutely rubbish. Gastelum will towel him up. Second round TKO to Gastelum because no one can trust Stoney because he's a shady McShade shade. Hashtag Shadegate. I think Till's going to come out. He's going to struggle. I think up weight class. Gastelum was, when you think about that Asanya fight, he actually looked pretty good in that even though he got beat. So I don't see him getting beaten this one, to be honest, guys.
I like the negativity around it. The late coming into the country, the visa problems, the weight issues. and you cannot find a fighter in the UFC that's been doubted after his losses than Darren Till. He's had to go up a weight. I just feel like there's enough of a story there. I love a story. See, this is why I'm a heart better, because I love the story and I'll get behind him, and I'm taking Darren Till and I'm going huge. I'm going KO round 1.
Oh, dang, boy.
I think it's a kick too. It's a clean kick. Guys, a kickboxer, a very, 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 very accomplished kickboxer. He could do some damage. So I'm getting on Darren Till.
What's the reach disadvantage?
Hang on a sec. Do you remember what happened last time you tried to predict an ending and also how it ended?
Yeah.
No comment.
You're a dick.
Craig, guess what?
Continue.
Craig, what's the race disadvantage for Gastelum in this one?
It'd be monstrous. I don't have the exact stats on me. I know, shocking. It would be ridiculous.
Let's just look at the analytics. So, his reach caused a lot of trouble for Calvin? Is there anyone else that springs to mind where he's been in a similar situation with such a...
Kelvin Gastelum knocked down Israel Adesanya, and that reach was insane. I don't think Darren Till's on the same level as Israel. So I think if Kelvin Gastelum can knock down Israel Adesanya, he can definitely knock down Darren Till. I think Darren Till's been knocked out by Jorge Masvidal, who's never been a power puncher. And Kelvin Gastelum packs a punch. His boxing is critically underrated. I think he KOs him. I don't know if Darren Till's chin is going to be able to withstand after a KO moving up in a weight class where they hit harder. I don't think he holds it. I don't think he holds onto his chin.
It's valid. I'm not going to debate that. You say it with conviction, and conviction's everything in this game. So I'm still sticking with Till, but from memory, I thought Izzy had a lot of success with that reach. I take your point that he did get knocked down, but I thought Calvin really struggled. Now, we've seen him against fighters with less of a reach. Bisping, who had an advantage, but it was nowhere near the same. Obviously, Calvin is very good at closing the distance. This will be interesting. I think this is a much greater test than what the odds makers are predicting. Calvin, a fairly short price favourite.
Guys, just to quickly throw some stats in here because the stat man has failed on us. Till's got 3 inches on Gastelum in the arms, please. In the arms, please. Settle down.
Sean's learned how to Google. Good job.
And he's also got about 2.5 reach in the legs as well. So DL might be in for that head kick.
Yes, boy.
That's actually less significant than I thought it would be. So.
Same.
What, 3 inches? That's what she said as well, Craig.
They always tell me it's not much. It's not that much. It's okay.
They always tell me it's not you, it's me.
Craig, I've only got to connect, mate. That's all that matters.
Well played, boys. Look, takes us to the main event. The big one, boys.
Ooh.
Are you ready?
Who's going first, Craig?
You. We just had a sound effect for those people dialing in. So,
nice, cool.
So the boys on the phone can't hear the sound effects. So this one won't make any sense. But can you laugh after 10 seconds, guys?
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
What we're laughing at in the studio, we just replayed Sean's picks up until this point. It's very funny stuff, DL.
How funny. You're an absolute basket case, Stoney, and I'm off you.
I love it. All right, a welterweight main event for the BMF presented by The Rock. Shaun?
Dwayne Johnson, The Rock.
Thank you, Craig.
Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz. This fight is huge. It's huge for the reason of just the excitement build up for these boys. They're both acclaimed bad motherfuckers. And we'll see who takes it out on Sunday our time, Saturday New York time. So who will kick us off? Kragos, what have you got on this fight? Any doozy stats?
I think the most exciting thing about this fight, and it's not even a stat thing, it's a gut feeling, is that every time either of these two fighters get in the ring, you go, I know that they're going to try and make it an exciting fight, but will their opponent come and grab it? Or will their opponent be up to their standard to be able to like swing for it? Because if someone's going to grab them and take it down, they can make it a slower fight. These two are both like the exact same animal, so it's going to be fucking sick. I think it's going to be hands down fight of the night. I think I've got Nate Diaz. He's a heavy underdog, which actually surprised me. He came back, looked fantastic against Anthony Pettis. I'm having Nate Diaz by decision or late TKO. I don't think that Jorge Masvidal has been KO'd in a long time. I think it's probably like 2006, 2007. So it's been a long time coming. But I think it'd be more punches in bunches, and I see Nate Diaz shutting him down.
Nice, Craig. And you've given it fight of the night?
I think it's going to be fight of the night. I think also because the UFC pretty heavily weighs fight of the night against towards the main events, especially a main event with as much push behind it. So I think that's I think that's a given.
Thanks for that, Craig, because I get to use my next sound effect.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Dana!
Oh.
60 G's, baby!
I don't know what we're talking about right now.
Well, are we laughing?
It was the 60 G's. 60 G's, baby. From
Brilliant. Nailed it.
from the great Conor McGregor. Rumours are that we could have a signed deal. Stoney's got some breaking news on that.
I do. So hot off the press from today, John Kavanagh, who is obviously Conor McGregor's head coach at SBG in Ireland, saying that it is all but confirmed, just the finer details remain, that it will be Conor and Cowboy Cerrone on the 18th of January.
Oh, yeah, dog.
Damn, that's a good fight.
I like that.
Have we got any thoughts on that one,
That
boys?
is picture perfect.
Could be a boys' club trip there.
Where's it at?
No, it's not in Sydney, unfortunately.
Oh, we could double that up with Craig's wedding. That's easy.
Let's do it.
Ooh.
Let's do it.
Craig's Bucks party.
Yes, Craig, Vegas.
Oh, dear God, no. Dear God, no. That's,
We'll promise you'll come back safe.
I want to make it to my wedding, please, God.
Boys, I'm going to throw it out. So my dear wife did a fantastic deed a number of months ago, and she brought back a bottle of Proper 12 from a shopping trip of all things. She said, I've got a present, and I didn't know what it was, and as it turns out, it was a bottle of Proper 12. And I've said to DL, I'm waiting until Conor fights next, and I'm going to pop it. Now, just throwing it out there, what are the chances we could get the crew together for that card? Is that a possibility?
I'm in.
Oh, Shaun's gone early. Cragos?
I mean, I'll be down. Yeah, I'll be down.
We'll meet halfway.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do a pub in
I'll
Echuca.
find a little pub somewhere, yeah.
We'll do a pub in
We're up
Echuca.
here. Airbnb halfway.
Cool. We'll get that in the works. That's exciting. Whose tip is it up to?
Fun, isn't it?
No, I don't think we've even started.
Cragos is gone.
Cragos?
I'll give him my pick.
Yeah. We'll edit this shit out because we're just talking rubbish. Stoney,
In.
who you got?
If that's the parameters for editing stuff, then sorry, Shaun, none of your tips make the cut.
I'm leaving it in now. The joke makes more sense.
Did everyone see the Masvidal backyard footage? Now, obviously, it's from a long time ago. I only saw it this week as part of Kimbo Slice's backyard. Now, Cragos, I think you'd be all over this one, but just throwing it out there, did everyone have a chance to see that?
That was the first time
Which one was it?
That was the first time when you shared the video with me. That was the first time I'd seen it. Yep. So I've actually seen the footage before, but had no idea. Just briefly looked at it. No idea it was Masvidal.
Yep.
Still got the same.
Sharing some risky videos.
So I
with
find-
each other.
Still.
I've got to jump. I've got to jump off. I'm being summoned back in.
Yeah, you'll go.
Arrested.
Your turn on charades.
Yeah, mate.
All right, that's
I'm
fair.
so excited.
That's fair, mate.
I've got to go.
Bon
Cragos,
voyage.
thanks for joining us, mate.
No worries, guys. I'll speak to you soon.
All right.
Good on you, buddy.
See you, buddy.
Oi.
All right, Stoney, who you got?
Proceed with your crap picks, Stoney.
Do you reckon Craig got scared by that bird?
Oh, several birds, obviously.
Was his wife on the other phone? Was you like, hang on, they're talking a little bit about boys' trips and going to Vegas.
Oh,
and
his voice trips come up. Yes.
he got a little slide in his DMs. It goes, get in the house.
Now.
Sorry, Stoney.
Alrighty, boys. Nate Diaz for me. I agree with a lot of Craig's assessment of how the fight goes. I think it's a decision from Nate. I can't see Masvidal knocking Nate Diaz out. I think that chin is ironclad, and I can't see Nate going to sleep. I just think this is a great fight, and I'm really looking forward to it. The heart says Nate. The wallet says Nate in a big, big way. The L. So, full steam ahead, Nate.
I love it.
SG, what have you got?
Are you going to call what he's going to win by? You didn't call the win.
It feels a bit like amateur hour because I definitely did. I said it's going to be a decision, Nate Diaz.
Oh, sorry. You just talk rubbish, so I zone out every time you say anything.
Shaun, who have you got?
Mate, I think, look, for me, it's a bit of a two-way battle here, obviously, because there's two blokes in the fight.
It's a 50-50.
Do you know what?
It's a game of two halves.
I first thought, I'll go with the guy that most reminds me of myself.
Shaun, just stop. We've just got to digest that. So one of two people could win.
I thought you boys would enjoy that one. Look, boys, I first thought I would go with the guy that reminds me of myself first and the best-looking bloke in the fight, because I thought, obviously, best-looking bloke from the podcast. I was thinking Masvidal, but, I've just gone and said, what else do I entail in this? I say my jiu-jitsu game is better than all the boys.
You trying to push for your 20? You trying to get to your 20 really quickly?
I am, yeah. I'm going to go for Diaz, just because, we've worked together previously over FaceTime in terms of some of his movements. And I don't see him really getting beat here, to be honest. Got the chin to save all chins. Won't get KO'd, and if he does, I will run from Melbourne to a trooper in my budgie smugglers, so it won't happen. I'm going to say Diaz via decision as well. Unfortunately, I'm back Stoney on that one, but I don't see any of the boys finishing this fight. I just see a slugfest, and I see it going to a decision for Diaz.
Just want to remind you, in the last podcast, you also claimed that you were going to do a budgie smuggler run, and I'm pretty sure you lost that bet, and you're just piling bets on piling bets. So,
looking for the double up run, then, boys. Looking forward to the double up.
So it's a double or nothing on the budgie smuggler run.
Yep, I'll do cool. 2 runs.
And in my prediction, I'm taking Nate. Again, it's a heart thing. Even when Nate was fighting Connor all those times, you had that little soft spot for Nate, and you were okay if Nate won that fight. But I'm taking submission in round 3. He's had a little bit more. I don't know if cage rust is real, but he kind of showed a little bit in that last fight when they took it to the mat in the third. Those transitions were looking a little bit sloppy. I'm not an expert. Shaun, you'll correct me since you're the self-acclaimed expert.
Correct.
I think he's going to be a bit more cleaner in those transitions, and once Masvidal's a little bit tired, I think Nate's going to take the back. We're going to get a good choke out of it. So I'm taking Nate in the third submission, rear naked, if you really want me to hone down on what it actually is going to be.
Solid.
Go.
Almost a wrap. So I threw SG a challenge earlier in the day to just casually compare himself to both of the fighters in the main event. And for the long-time listeners, you wouldn't have noticed any difference in SG's persona because he's done that on every one that I've listened to. So I'll think of a more difficult challenge for the next one, SG. But, hats off. You come through as expected.
Thank you. As per usual, always deliver. I will also deliver on my picks for this weekend. Unlike yourself.
Good luck, mate. Good luck. That wraps our podcast. Marcus, thanks for sticking around. Craigos, who's 5 beers deep in charades. Good luck to you, mate. Anyway, that wraps our podcast. That's UFC 244 from New York. Please, if you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, or review. Share it if you've got any good ideas for us and good things that we can do on our normal Run It Back podcast, which we've got a couple of really, really good doozy fights coming up soon to drop this month. The boys, Marcus and Craig, will probably join us a lot more on the prediction podcast, so we look forward to that and keeping a running tally on that. But for now, thanks for having us. My name is Daniel.
My name is Winning Gregory.
Thanks, Shaun. And we'll catch you on the next podcast. Cheers.